Here we go. Hi. Hi there. Let's get situated here. Alrighty. Hi. It is Sherlyn Dorsey, creator and founder of You're More Than Their Mother and author of You're More Than Their Mother, Reclaim, Realign, and Rebalance Your Life. First of all, I'm excited that I am at home today periscoping with you because this helps me to get a chance to, one, really just relax in my element and be who it is that I am, which is, of course, all the time. But whenever I'm in the car, it's because I'm on the move and I just have a moment to take a deep breath and share with you all. But when I'm at home, I'm truly in my element. All things around me are pretty much calm. My girls are at school. I'm doing what it is that I love, which is the back end or the administrative part of my speaking and entrepreneurial business. So it's a great thing. And the other thing is that I have a book handy. I always tell you that I am author of the book, You're More Than Their Mother, Reclaim, Realign, and Rebalance Your Life. And guess what? It's real. There it is. There's my book that I'm so proud of. This is me and my 3 children. Aren't they wonderful? Little snoogie boogies. It's so cute. So I'm very excited. So I have to tell you how this scope came about. Today I actually was not going to, or I was going to do a scope in sharing with a group called Perry Girls, which seems to be a very vibrant community that helps other women share their scopes to get it more recognized, to get it more popularized, if that is a word there, by sharing hearts and things like that. And as well as other people invite followers. So you tend to expand your following, which is of course a good thing. And the good thing about, the even better thing I should say about that is these are targeted followers. So these are people who are connected with your brand in some kind of way because what it is that you do resonates with them. Look at that little stray hair up there. Alrighty, whatever. So that didn't work out. Really don't know what happened with that, but I am excited to come to you anyway. Perhaps this was the motivation I needed to get this broadcast out. So I want to talk to you today about control versus discipline. So last night actually, I was very inspired to share some things that it is that I do with my children that has helped me to be what I consider a successful and wonderful mom. One thing I do is I give credit where it's due, and I've learned to pause and recognize when I'm doing something good. And good is, of course, defined by me. I get to create my own standards. So I absolutely live by that. And what I know about my girls is that they are amazing children. I'm sure there are many amazing ones in the world, but I'm partial to mine. I'm telling you, it's my pleasure being their mom. I've heard all of their life, because again, I have 3 girls. I've heard all of their life. Every time I mention how many children I have, and in particular what sex they are, I always hear the same thing, and that is, oh my goodness, girls, good luck. And I get the scowling face that comes with that, or they're talking about how much I can look forward to, oh, they're going to have an attitude problem, or talk about them with boys. Well, I've always refuted that. And when I say that, meaning when they say the negative things about them with boys and the problems that they have, it's not that I didn't think or don't think that my children can do anything or make anything wrong or make any kind of mistakes. But why would I absorb that, take that on, and wait for them to do it? That would actually bias my behavior towards them and really make me a little bit more accusatory in many circumstances than necessary, because I always have this underlying thought or belief that they're doing something wrong or this is a part of an attitude, opposed to me giving them a fair shot and letting them create and have their experiences and deal with them accordingly. Am I cautious of those things? Absolutely. But here's my philosophy. I was a great kid. Why wouldn't I think they're going to be great kids? My other philosophy is, why would I have that negative view of women? I'm a woman. I don't think negatively of myself. So why would I think negatively of my girls who will turn into women? So I just never got that, and I refuted that, and I made sure that I stood on that. Not only did I refute that, I affirmed what it is that I wanted for them, which was for them to live a life of freedom that they love, where they made choices in confidence of who it is that they are and who it is that they wanted to be. I live by that, and it has just worked like a charm for me. So I'm very blessed for that. So that brought me to how I was feeling kind of last night. I love Facebook and all the social media tools. I have some wonderful people who follow me and who I follow and things like that. And so I just very often get inspired by them. Well, people tell me that they're inspired by me, and I think that's a blessing because I'm just living my life and doing what it is that I love. So I feel so compelled very often to share what it is that I do. So what I shared last night was a routine slash philosophy that it is that I have with my children. And that is this. My children still have a bedtime. At the time of this taping, my children are 11, 13, and 15. They still have a bedtime during school, during the school year, during the weekend and things like that. They can have at it. They can relax. But they still have a bedtime. Well, here's my truth. My children next to never go to bed on time. Next to never. Let me adjust this a little bit. Alrighty. Okay, there we go. They next to never go to bed on time. Guess what? I don't really care. Sorry, not sorry. When it comes to that, and when I say I don't really care, I mean, I feel like they're at an age now, if they're not going to bed on time, that's their own little red wagon to pull. Them not going to bed on time, though, won't change the time that they're supposed to get up. Won't change, most specifically, it won't change the time that they will be out of here going to school on time. So what do I mean by that? Their bedtimes, my youngest is 8:30 and my oldest is, my other one is 9:30 and the other one I think is, it may be even 10 o'clock. I forget actually, to be honest, or not. Maybe they're both 9:30, whatever. I hear them up sometimes when I get up to go in the middle of the night to the restroom. Sometimes it's 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. They're sitting in their rooms talking about their day, talking about what's going on with them. Number one, I love that. When I did decide and start having children, I knew I would have more than one for that reason. I absolutely love growing up with my siblings. So I wanted my children to have somebody outside of their parents who they could talk to and confide in and have a safe space where they felt like they could say what it is that they wanted about their parents, because I used to talk about my mom and daddy to my brother and sister, and that was okay, but nobody else could talk about my parents. So only person I believe you can do that with is your sister or brother. So anyway, that being said, I hear them all the time, and I used to think, oh no, I better get in there and make them go to bed, and they got to make sure that they do this and that before they go to bed. I had to realize some stuff I needed to let go. It was not about me controlling everything that they had, but about the discipline that I wanted to instill in them to do what it is that they had to do. So I felt like this was a learning opportunity for them. So what I did when I first started noticing that I was having difficulty getting them to bed on time, I started easing up. I started thinking to myself, hey, Sherlyn, they're big enough to be up by themselves. You go to bed. You know what it takes for you. You go to bed. And if you get up and what they need to have done is not done, they're going to get up with you. It worked for me like a charm. So with that being said, my children go to bed whenever they go to bed. Now that they're older, sometimes homework keeps them up and things like that. But sometimes the truth is they just don't have their priorities together. They're chit-chatting with one another or doing something that they shouldn't be doing. I don't know, whatever it is. Nothing detrimental, of course, but doing something they should be doing instead of doing staying focused and doing what they should do and adhering to their times. Well, again, I let all of that go. But in the morning, when that alarm rings, they need to be up. Pause. Now, I said when that alarm rings, they need to be up. I even changed my philosophy about that. Here's what my thing is. My children have to be out of this door by 7:45 a.m. Guess what? Get ready, brace yourself. I'm going to tell you my truth. I don't care if my children get up at 7:44 a.m. That's their own personal business. They each have alarms. I wake them up sometimes when I'm up. But the bottom line is they will be out that door at 7:45 a.m. barring nothing. Barring nothing at all. Barring nothing at all. Just because they decided to stay up all night and do whatever it is that they were doing does not release them from the rules of this house. You will be out this door on time no matter what. I have literally put my children out the door. They had one shoe on. Their hair was all over their head. See, they care about that kind of stuff. They're at this age now. So opposed to me threatening them with that or hooping and hollering behind that or whooping them behind that, which I don't do. I don't spank my children. They have to live out yes, they have to live out the consequences of their decision. And when they ask, Mom, please, I go, no, you decided to stay up or to stay up all night or to stay in the bed at night. So you didn't get up this morning and get finished like you were supposed to. I don't have anything to do with that. The rules have been set out. You didn't live by them. It doesn't release you from the consequences. They're out of here. They're out of here. Guess what? It's only happened to my oldest daughter once, my middle daughter twice, and my youngest daughter, it's actually happened to her one time. Here's the other thing. Before you leave my house, you will have your bedspread and pick up behind yourselves. I don't know about anybody else, but my youngest two are absolutely slobs. Love them. But they are so sloppy. I can't deal with that. They're big enough. I don't pick her up behind them like they're infants anymore. You're going to pick up behind yourself. You're just not going to leave stuff on the floor. I'm going to be able to be at home in a comfortable environment without having junk all around me, in particular your junk. So every morning they need to get up and spread their beds and pick up behind themselves. Well, now that they know that their mom, or since they are clear that their mom is serious about living out their consequences, they do what I call self-select corrective behavior, meaning they tag team each other now on staying up, on getting up on time, on picking up behind themselves, and keeping themselves focused on the task at hand. You should hear them in the morning saying, come on, girl, hurry up. We only got 8 minutes. Come on, let me do this for you. Here, I'll do that. And you go do this. You go get this ready for me. It's an amazing thing. So what I feel like it's doing is teaching them things that they need for the rest of their life, like problem solving, like critical thinking, like prioritization or time management, like teamwork, coaching, mentoring, all of that stuff. They're in support of one another. Really, all I have to do is check in and say, girls, you all need anything? Anything you want from me? 3 days a week, I cook breakfast for them. 3 days. Nope, I don't cook it every morning because I don't feel like it. I get to choose what days I want to cook breakfast for them, but they're big enough to go in there and get some cereal or toast their own bread or make their own smoothie or whatever it is that they look like, and I make sure that they understand that. If they ask me usually for a specific day that they want some breakfast, absolutely, I can usually accommodate that, but some days I don't feel like getting up, so I don't. And they go in and make their breakfast. So if they come in, or if I ask them, hey, get up, no, I'm not cooking today, I don't feel like it, you should hear them making plans to do it, or asking one another, saying, hey, you want to make breakfast today? Let's have smoothies. Let's have something fresh. It's really a beautiful thing. Now, why am I sharing all this with you? For a couple of reasons. One, it's because perhaps this routine or this philosophy may help shift you in something that it is that you're doing for your children. Perhaps you just hadn't thought of it this way, and this gives you another another idea. It's really all about consideration. The other reason I'm sharing it with you is to show you how you can really free yourself up to be more than their mother when you empower them with discipline and motivation. A long time ago, I stopped spanking my children. My oldest was, I think, 4, if my memory serves me correctly. She was in between 3 and 5. So somewhere in between that time frame. And what it was for me is I just had this thought that I didn't want my children to be scared of me. I didn't want my children to be scared of if they got caught, what would happen. I wanted something in them to kick in to say, this doesn't feel right. This isn't the best thing for me. So I wanted to give them the tools to trust what it is that they were feeling and to make good decisions. And when I say make good decisions, meaning the best they know how with the information they had. So what it did was put a charge back on me to get them the information so that they can make educated decisions, not scare them away from things that I felt like they shouldn't be doing. Now, certainly some things, it's life and death. So we don't have